Man, we in here today. Great
Let's
49er
get it.
day. Let's get this thing going, man. My name is Akeem, and I am the
And this is
host.
Blair.
And this is Blair, baby. Hey, come on, man. Hey, you know what, man? Go ahead, Blair. Go ahead and let them know, man. Let's start off the show with some fire, man. I got some energy today. Let's start off the show
Yeah,
with some fire today. Talk to everybody about how you felt about yesterday's game, man.
man, in a nutshell, I'm inspired. And let me tell
Mm,
you why I'm inspired.
mm.
Because I seen the progress from Javon Kinlaw. I dogged him. I'm not even going to lie to you, okay? I dogged this guy. When he
You
was in
did.
training camp,
You did.
I did. I dogged him. And I can own that. He was in training camp. He and let me just say this. I think it's because I seen what Nick Bosa did, and I was just hopeful that Javon was going to come in and do the same thing. He wasn't able to do that. And so, me not really understanding player development, I wrote him off. So, I seen
Mm,
him yesterday make phenomenal plays, continue to get into the second level, made some tackles, had a pass breakup on the screen. That is all promising. I've reached the point into the season where I know this team isn't going to the Super Bowl. The revenge tour is over. The block
it's
is
over.
not as hot as it was. The block is very much still hot over there, but it's not as hot as it was. But moving over to the offensive side of the ball, let me just say this. Brandon Ayuk, I'm just say these numbers real quick.
Mhm.
446 receiving yards in 8 games. He has 5 touchdowns. He's projected to end the season with about 1,500 yards and 11 touchdowns. That's the projection. I mean, just based off what we have seen, if you're a 49er fan, you should be thrilled to see stuff like this. Why? Because you know going into the future, you have the cornerstone of your
Mhm.
team,
Mhm.
multiple cornerstones all over this team. I know that we lost the game, but I was thrilled with what I seen in the progress. I just wish Kyle Shanahan could not be so smart. I
Mhm.
think he's too smart for his own good. I have no clue why you call a reverse on your second drive. You have New Orleans on their heels, right?
Mhm.
I mean, you come out, you punch them in the mouth, you score opening drive, you have Nick Mullins back there. So that surprised everybody. And
Mhm.
then you have an opportunity to really run it up, right? You can go 14-0. And what do? You call some reverse play.
Mhm.
I just don't get it. But nonetheless, 49ers progress. Players are looking good. I'm happy. I know we lost, but I'm happy.
Mhm.
Team's moving in the right direction.
I agree, man. But I will also say, in Kyle Shanahan's defense, I thought he called an excellent game. I mean, we quarterbacks they have a couple bad passes they throw, right? Offensive linemen have a couple bad snaps. Defensive linemen have a couple bad snaps. Linebackers have a couple bad snaps. And the reason why I'm saying this is because coaches have a couple bad calls, and I think that he's in that category where he wishes he can get a couple of them plays back, but he plays as if he has Debo out there too. Like he plays as if his ones is out there. He plays as like that. I think he calls plays as if his ones are out there, and I
Mm-hmm.
think sometime I think sometime it can suffer. Man, we can suffer. Um, and we did, man. And I want to give it to him. I thought he called a great game for me. Um,
Yeah.
I think also too. I think we have an opportunity um, to start showcasing some guys in the next coming weeks. Kinlaw is coming into his own. I've always knew this would happen.
Yeah, you did.
I always felt like it because it just like that position. You have to kind of have a certain level of confidence, but then it's just straight technique, man. And I think once you get that down, I mean, he was literally all over the place, and maybe against one of the best offensive lines in football. I mean, that offensive line doesn't give up a lot of pressures nor sacks to Drew Brees. They're actually pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
and for him to come in there and dominate,
Yeah. He looked
he
great.
and just imagine like going into next year, right? Well, let me talk about this. Let me talk about the game a little bit. I think you're so right when you talk about Brandon Ayuk. I mean, he's out there with trash quarterbacks, and he's producing. trash quarterbacks. He always seems smooth. It seems like he's open. Like I don't see him dropping nothing. And I got to give it to KB. Come on, KB. You was out there doing your thing. And I respect it.
Yeah, helmet off and everything.
Oh, my God. I love it, man. And that's the KB we need right there because I still like Richie James right there in that third slot.
Mm-hmm.
But even we had at KB at 4, that's
Yeah.
a nice look. And then we draft like 2 more, or pick up 1 more and draft, another. I think we draft 1 late. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We can really stack up. But let me talk about this game a little bit. We had this game. We had this game a couple times, man. Our special teams failed us. Our special teams failed us. Our defense did not lose this game. I thought the defense played excellent.
I'm so done with Trent Taylor real quick. I'm so done with Trent Taylor. That's it.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, we need to cut Trent. I think I tweeted that. We need to cut Trent Taylor. We was talking about Pettis. Now I'm on the wagon of Trent Taylor. I'm on him tough because I was fooled. Man, let me tell you, I was rooting for Trent Taylor. I've been rooting for Trent Taylor for a while. Oh, man, I'm just not feeling it, man.
We were bamboozled. We all were hoodwinked. Okay. Trent Taylor looks great before the injury. Then he goes into training camp, lights everyone up, comes out this year, and he can't get open. Like, that's what it is. He is getting no separation from other corners. And now he's a liability. It's just, you have to move forward. You've seen what Richie James can do. He produces instantly, makes the offense better. And that's what it comes down to. Do you or do you not instantly make the offense better? Kendrick Bourne does. And Kendrick Bourne has a few drops here or there, but he makes the offense better. And this was, and I was going to ask you about this. I think there's some players we need to talk about who will not be here next season. And I think the list is quite long. Trent Taylor is one of them.
I think Trent Taylor is one of them. He's one, but there was a couple more. Actually, I wrote them down, man. I'll tell you right now. I've been keeping a list, man, and I like keeping a list, man, because like sometimes I'll be looking at their performance. I'm like, let me see.
I would say McGlinchey, but he's going to be there, but he looks god awful. I mean, he's getting thrown around.
So, yeah. So Jimmy G, I think he's going to be gone next year. I think Jakarski Tart is going to be gone next year. I think they're going to find a way to move Jimmy Ward, even though we just signed him. Hopefully we can trade him in the draft. I think they'll give Mike McGlinchey another chance. I think Richard Sherman may not return. And then I hope Jordan Reed returns, but I think it just depends on what he's asking for to come back. But he looked good too, man. I think those are my guys right there off top. We need Juice to come back. We need to sign Juice. I think that's like one of the priorities. I think Juice needs to come back. Man, it was sad, man, that Hastings got hurt. Oh, my God. It's just like our season is just riddled with injuries, man. We're riddled.
We are riddled. We cannot stay healthy. I'm telling you, when we finish a game and we do not have an injury, I don't know if we've had one this season, but when I see that there hasn't been like a tremendous injury that is really going to be detrimental to the team, I'm surprised. And so to see Hasty go down, it's terrible. To add on to your list, I don't know if Jerick McKinnon is going to be in a 49er uniform next season.
He cannot start at running back for us, man.
Well, and someone said this, you have to remove the whole Jet nickname. We're going to have to remove it. Mm-hmm. We're not seeing that. There's no burst. It's slow. It's not. And I just think for the money, I think the money can be used and gone to someone else that can instantly make the team better. I just think that. I don't think Jerick McKinnon's here. Him and CJ Beathard I just think there's going to be some
See,
sort of shopping
I think,
with both of them.
I think Nick Mullins got to go too. I think that experiment is over.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about Nick Mullins a little bit, man. I had a
Okay.
somebody came for me on Twitter, and you know, shout out to him to having his own opinion. I wasn't really tripping, but I was just stating facts
Yeah.
about Nick Mullins, and he compared him to Patrick Mahomes. He sent me like he sent me something like a picture of there's only two quarterbacks with 2,700 yards and something around the touchdowns in the first 9 starts. And my question to him was, okay, well, what's our record when he's playing? Because we don't win football games when Nick Mullins is playing. And then it's like 5 minutes later, he threw an end of the game pick that he tried to get to. That he just forced it to a not open KB, and he picked it at the end of the game when we had opportunity to be down by 7 with like 2 minutes left. Even though we
Yeah.
wasn't gonna win, but still we fight to the end. But it's just those timely interceptions that he just finds his way of throwing. They're very timely,
Mhm.
and
And,
this is almost like, dude, do you understand what you're seeing? And
isn't it
then
Jimmy G esque?
oh, 100%. And then if you look at the calls he wasn't making, he was getting killed. But Mike McGlinchey on his side, it was blitzing Mike McGlinchey's side like bad. And
And he's on the ground.
Mike McGlinchey was giving it up, but it's really on him to shift the line. Like he should be shifting the line. They was disguising it pretty well. But even then, like
Yeah.
you should know if he's lined up in the slot that this is something, check, 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 hot, hot, hot. If this
Mhm.
happens, then I'm going here. If he leaves you and
Yeah.
blitzes you, I'm going here. This should be happening. If you're elite quarterback, this is what you do, man.
Mhm.
This is what you do.
And you know what the thing with Mike McGlinchey? I think if I'm John Lynch, I sit Mike McGlinchey down and I say this: if you do not put on 15 pounds of fat and or muscle, we are going to remove you. Like that's just what it has come down to. I don't know why he chose. I mean, let me not misspeak. I get it. People want to be healthy. I totally understand that. When Joe Staley retired, got really healthy and thin. But Joe Staley is not taking on linebackers and other people that are 300 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think Mike McGlinchey's weight loss it's hurting him, and it's hurting the team. He was not technique, bull rush, all those things. He hasn't been great in since he's came to the 49ers, but now he's being thrown around. That
Mm-hmm.
to me, that's weight. You're in a whole different weight class, and the wrong one, if you're asking me. And I just think if I'm the general manager, I say, look, this is what we need of you. We need you to put on the weight. We need you to put on the muscle. If you don't do that, we got to remove you.
I'm worried about the off season. This is what I'm worried about. Sometimes GMs, coaches can hold on to a player one too many years. So what I'm saying to you is what you was talking about Brandon Ayuk and you was talking about Debo Samuel. We have the two youngest, best receiving core in the game right now, right? Nobody
Yeah.
in the NFL has a young receiving core like we have. So we can't waste the window, right? So what I mean by that is if we decide to keep Jimmy G, because I'm reading reports that this is possible, that they can talk him to, taking a one, they can release him and then talk him into staying for 1 year on a 1 year deal and pay him X amount of money. We
Right.
all know that Jimmy is not the guy for our team right now. We need to move on from Jimmy. And then when we don't move on, Jimmy can waste a lot of good snaps to either a drafted quarterback or one who we're bringing in. If our plans is to win a Super Bowl next year, which it should be because we have a Super Bowl roster, excuse me, we should be planning on bringing a quarterback in that is going to be able to compete to win the Super Bowl. Like Matty Ice, Matt Stafford. I don't want to say Sam Donald because he's still kind of young. He still has more starts than Jimmy G though. But
Yeah.
I do believe that if we're going in that direction, we can't waste this window, even with a young slanging quarterback, man. If he can slang it like Justin Herbert over there, the Chargers, like let him come in and slang the rock. Kyler Murray's proving my point. Let
Absolutely.
him slang the rock.
And I think we got into another argument with someone else on Twitter about they were saying it was more so Hopkins with the catch, and they weren't trying to give credit to Murray. And see that it's completely a sentence that lacks logic. Why? Without Kyler Murray extending the play, watch the play. He extends the play, drops all the way to the sideline. Like this is high level stuff, and then has the ability to throw it on the move all the way to the end zone. I mean, there's 32 quarterbacks starting in this league. More than half of the guys cannot do that. And I'm
It's only
seeing in the
about five,
draft,
only 5% of them can do that.
I'm seeing it in the draft. There's some guys coming to the NFL that possess that skill set. And like you're saying right now, I don't want to see Brandon Ayuk's career suffer because someone's throwing the ball behind them, someone's throwing the ball to the ground or throwing it too high, and now you're getting your head blown off. I don't want to see that. I want to see Brandon Ayuk be able to catch the ball at his highest point, catch the ball in the chest, and go. Right now, Jimmy Garoppolo, he's a liability. He throws the ball behind players all the time. He throws sloppy passes all the time. That gets players injured. That's just what it is. I don't want to see that for any of these players. I want to get a guy that's going to scramble, get you the ball on the fly, and allow you to get yak. And I see that in the draft. I'm sorry. I see it in the draft. But let me note, I don't believe a rookie quarterback will come in and win a Super Bowl. I don't care what type of team you have built for him. I just don't believe that. I don't think that happens. And so you would need to bring in a vet. You have to bring in a vet. If this team's going to win a Super Bowl next season, it's going to be a veteran quarterback. It's not going to be a rookie.
I agree with that, just because of the scheme, and also too, we have a sophisticated system, whether we want to believe it or not. But I do want to mention the fact that Nick Mullins definitely got Hasty hurt. I mean, the pass he threw was high, like it was a terrible ball. Just set him up. I mean, he's throwing passes to get guys killed. I just, and and then C.J. Beathard came in. You had one job to throw the go route, and you overthrew the go route by 20 yards. He was wide open. Did you see him get behind him like that?
Yeah, he's really
wide
weak.
open. He came in and just threw a duck. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, bro. It's like we have opportunities in the game. The fumble from Richie James, the mismanaged communication from Trent Taylor on special teams. Another fumble happens. Nick Mullins is giving it to the other team. Just give it to the other team. We're driving. Oh, here you go. I knew it was too good to be true. No, you know what? There you go. They go Jenkins right over the middle. Yep. And even the commentator was like, he definitely did not see him.
Yeah.
I don't think Nick Mullins sees too many people, man.
And what's crazy is Jenkins was mismatched with Ayuk. Like Ayuk was going to tear Jenkins up the entire game. He was doing it in the first quarter. And then when you have terrible quarterback play, it's easy to jump the route. It's easy to know what the receiver is going to do because you're like, well, we're dealing with a quarterback that's not that spectacular, not going to throw it over my head. So I can play and I can play close. And that's just what happened. That's why I'm just tired of lackluster QB play. I want to see a stud come in, turn it around. We haven't seen it. When's the last time the 49ers have had an elite quarterback?
You said elite?
Elite, yes.
Don't
say Jeff.
Nah, I think it would be Steve Young.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It's a long time, bro.
Man.
It's no elite. Yeah, elite. Yeah, I think it was Steve Young, man.
That's too long. You have a major market team in the 49ers. Get a quarterback here that can play the game.
So let's talk about the future a little bit. What should we do with Richard Sherman? because I am a guy who believes we need to pay him because he's a captain of the team, and I don't think we understand how spoiled we was last year, how good he
Mm-hmm.
was. He was a Pro Bowler. He's been a little hurt this season, but
Yeah.
our corner play is so bad. I mean, Verrett is still balling. Um, we need him, and I see E-Man didn't play bad yesterday either. But
Yeah.
we need his leadership, his veteran. Like he's good, bro. Like the system, he can still play in it. I think we still
Yeah.
sign Richard Sherman. What you think?
I think you got to. I think you have to sign Richard Sherman. I mean, just based off what you're seeing right now, and it's more of a depth thing for me. I like how E-Man responded this game. He still has not proven to me that he is an elite corner. I know we're not asking him to be elite, but Richard Sherman is.
Hmm.
Richard Sherman is an elite corner,
I think
and
Jason Verrett, if he stays healthy, he is too.
he has proven to be
Pro Pro
back
Football
on
has his
track. Yeah.
Pro Football Focus has his grade at he's fourth in the NFL for his overall grade.
Yeah, he's back on track. I think he's back on
Hmm.
track, but I think you, like you said, even with that, you need Richard Sherman there.
Yeah, we need Richard
This is
Sherman.
where it's a catch 22. Richard Sherman is older, and I think you can still find leadership somewhere, whether veteran or another player that's on the way up. I think you can find that leadership, but what you're not going to find is quarterbacks weren't throwing to his side. Like
Mm-mm.
we were spoiled. Quarterbacks were afraid to throw to that side, and he was only tested real late in the season and in the Super Bowl. That was the only time he was tested. I think you bring him back just for that aspect. Um, right now, we're having a hard time guarding elites. We just seen what B Hop did last night. We know what Metcalf's going to do. You're going to need a guy that can stop one side of the ball. You're going to need that. And right now,
Yeah,
we just don't have it.
we don't have it, and I think we got to sign him. I mean, his leadership. I mean, and then we got to get some safeties, man, that make plays. We just don't have safeties, and I've been saying it.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted Jamal Adams so bad, but we just didn't have safeties to make plays. You don't remember the plays that they make. Like, oh my God, he knocked that down, and it's not too many times they get an interception. Like they don't really get
That's the thing.
bennies. Can we get a pick?
Yeah.
Like we,
Jimmy Ward had one. He had one go right through his hands.
I
It's
think
terrible.
I think Jimmy Ward is overpaid guy that we need to move on from. I think we need to draft a safety, um, or we just need to trade for one. Or sign one in free agent. Man, we just need some new blood back there. Um, Marcel Harris is a good backup. I don't mind keeping Marcel around.
Yeah.
Um, and I ain't gonna lie, Jamar in the slot ain't he ain't looking that bad, man. He was getting cooked a couple games ago, but I think at that
Yeah.
point everybody was. But against Green Bay, but he ain't looking bad. And Williams, we still need
Gonna want a
Williams.
lot. I was gonna
We-
say, depending on how much he's gonna want.
Yeah, we that's another thing. We need to find out what he wants, and then we need to
Mhm.
go. We need to find out what he wants, man, because I like Williams.
Yeah.
I think Williams is a guy that we can really use, man. And I think going into next year, I think we need to draft another right tackle, like around the fifth round, fourth round, um, to really challenge Mike McGlinchey and let him know
Yeah.
that hey, we also need to get a center. That position
Yeah.
is just not sold up. But we have some holes. If you look at what we have out, and they came back, we need a defensive end. We need an elite defensive end. We can't.
Desperately need a DN.
Yeah, because I know Nick will be fine, but that D4 we can't count on.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can retire. We can get him off the books. But those are some areas that I do think that we need to really look into the draft and free agency. What are you thinking?
I think your number one priority is a quarterback. Like
Oh,
you
of
have,
course.
I want,
Yeah.
and I want to draft, and I want to draft the quarterback high. Like that's just
Yeah.
what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want the guy. Okay. obviously Mike McGlinchey is his days are numbered, and you do need to bring somebody in. I think on the back end, there's some free
I don't
agents
know if
out
his
there.
days are numbered though. I think he needs
Okay.
to be challenged. I just think he had an off year this year. Last year he wasn't bad to me, man. He's having a
Yeah.
real tough year this year.
He's
So
just never stood out. He's never stood out since he's been drafted. And then he's decided to lose weight. I see the difference. He looks small and it's not working out. And that's why I think the days are numbered. If he's choosing to go this route, I don't know if he's vegan now. I don't know if he's just decided not to eat meat. Whatever people are doing these days, that's on them. But he's lost weight and it's not helping him. And so if he chooses to continue on this path, we're gonna keep seeing him on the ground every week. And so I think that is a person that I would, like you said, bring someone in knowing that they're going to replace him. But on the back end, yeah, your safeties, I want to bring in a vet. I know there's some guys out there, free agency. I want to bring in a vet. I don't want to draft there. I want to draft a corner, someone that can
can
hopefully become a lockdown.
come in
You
here and
know,
be good, man.
hopefully be a lockdown. That I think that's what
Yeah.
the Niners are missing. That young corner. Because if you look at what Ramsey looked really really good. I want something like that. And I know you got to draft it.
You got to draft him. You got to spend some money. I mean, one of the two. I think we're all right with Sherman for one more year.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Verrett if he can stay healthy. He has been.
Yeah.
We cannot let him leave the camp. Get him good for somebody else, and he go out there and ball. Nah.
Yeah.
But we obviously draft well because our practice squad really wasn't that bad. I mean, they was coming. A lot of them they came on the field, stepped in, and played pretty hard. I just think we need to
Quality.
focus on positions of need, which they will. I think quarterback, DN, cornerback, center, right tackle, safety.
Yeah.
I think those off top we need to go after.
What was I about to ask you? Do you think that they go quarterback with that first pick, or they keep it safe and go defensive end?
I think we go 100% quarterback, man. There's too many good ones
First
this
pick.
year.
Yeah.
There's too many good ones coming out, man. And to be honest with you, 49er fans, I'm going to say it, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. Do you think we had opportunities to win that game yesterday? And I think Kyle Shanahan knows that he couldn't pull the trigger and win that game. I mean, I don't want to say that he tried to lose, but I think he put us in position sometime to be in position so we can get a good draft pick, bro. Because
You're not lying.
I felt it in the game. I was like, Cal can call some plays right now, and we can get back in this game. I don't know. I don't think he really wanted to. I think him and John Lynch already know.
He's smart, man. And that's funny that you say that, because when he called the reverse play, there was not a true reason to. You don't have the speed there to do that, and you weren't going to catch them slipping. It's too early in the game. I mean, maybe that you could probably catch them slipping, but the flow of the offense didn't seem like you catch him slipping. And so I was like, he's not trying to run up the score, because now if you go 14-0, now you kind of make it a little dangerous. You don't know how New Orleans is going to respond. So you very much so can win a game that, and it realistically, you kind of want to lose it. If you're a smart GM, you're like, don't do too much down there. Of course you want to stay competitive, but I'm with you, man. I just think you had every opportunity to win the game, even with the miscues, and Kyle Shanahan, for one reason or another, he just decides to call plays that make it very difficult or hard to execute. And I don't know, but you see what happened last time the Niners had a really good pick. Nicky Bosa came in and the Niners went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I really hope we re-sign Solomon Thomas too. I think that he needs
Yeah.
a fair chance to recover. I think this year he'd have played a lot better. So I wouldn't mind. I definitely wouldn't mind getting that depth. I don't even know when Ronald Blair is coming back. Unfortunately, if he can't come back, we got to let Ronald Blair go. And I like Ronald Blair. But my boy DJ
Yeah.
Jones is in the game. He's a great
Yeah.
backup. I like DJ Jones. It's like a lot of backups. Certain backups I really like, and DJ Jones is one of them. I think he's good, and I think he's a real good backup, and I think he will make the team next year. But I'm,
So Ronald Blair still hurt from the ACL from sacking Russell Wilson?
bro, he's still hurt, bro. And it's sad
What
because
kind of
I
ACL
like
did he hurt?
I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm almost thinking we saving players at this point. We just like, yeah, bro. Don't even, next year.
Yeah. That's
Mm.
making no sense. But now that you're talking about defense, I want to give a big shout out to Robert Saleh.
Oh,
A
give it to him.
huge
Oh, give it to him.
man. Because this team defensively is still here. Quick
Hmm.
stat 38%, okay, third down conversions on opponents, okay, meaning this defense is really firing off on third
Hmm.
downs, even going against Drew Brees, going against high powered
With backups.
offenses with a totally depleted defensive line,
Hmm.
backups on the
I hope
defensive back
I
end.
hope they don't try to come get Robert Saleh. I know we talking about him all year about him not adjusting, but there's going to be some coaching opportunities for him because he's good,
Yeah,
bro. He's good.
yeah, yeah. And then people aren't really rushing on the 49ers, and no one's talking about it.
He,
Like, have you 3.9 rushing? People are averaging 3.9 rushing. Like, no one's really getting the yards on the 49ers on rushing. They're not really passing well. It comes when we get the three and outs, and then our offense gives the ball back.
mm.
Obviously, fatigue is going to kick in. Defense continues to show up. And I mean, if anyone wants a building block going into the next season, there it is right there. You know, the core, the nucleus of your team is right in front of you. You just need a couple pieces.
Yeah. I got a comment that says, "Hi, I have a few questions for you in your podcast." Yeah, go ahead and shoot away. We'll be here talking. Just let us know. Um, yeah, and I think we need to going into the off season protect Robert Saleh from moving on because I think he's going to be a commodity for teams like the Jets and um, even if you really think about it, I mean he can go to Atlanta,
Yeah.
Detroit probably gonna fire their core. It's gonna be a lot of
Yeah.
different, yeah, a lot of different teams out there. He said, "What do you think is the biggest problem with the 49ers time, not including injuries?" Um, my thoughts on the biggest problem with the 49ers right now, without injuries, is experience. I don't see a lot of guys out here that know how to close games, that know how to make plays when it's time to make plays. Um, like I see Fred Warner. Fred Warner is really really good, and he's out there playing his butt off. But then if you look at guys like Jimmy Ward, Jakarski Tart, Marcel Harris, and I put a Manuel Mosley out there. Manuel Mosley, um, our whole D line, like right now, other than Hyder, I mean,
Yeah.
people they just don't know how to close games, and then offensively, it's just a lot of immaturity about the playbook. You know, we a lot of people are being exposed right now. For me, the effort, the fourth quarter effort, the third quarter effort, it's just not there, and that comes
Yeah.
with unsure about what you're supposed to be doing. What do you think?
I think the biggest problem with this team is this: the draft picks are not working out. The experiences, the experiments, all of them, they're just not working out. And now, when you have a depleted team and you rely on those pieces, you really get a sample size of what they can do for the team. It's obvious you need a little bit more talent than you have. And I think it's across the board. Obviously, at the quarterback position, you have an average guy playing in a starting role.
Mm.
You need a star there. right? I think when you look at your defense, I mean, you're going to continue to lose and get beat deep if you don't have a ball hawk or at least someone who's going to bat the ball down as a safety.
Mm.
Like it's not even the injuries when the people are on the field, you know, they're still not producing as they should. Ward has been on the field. He was injury prone. He has been on the field. He's not producing. Jaquaski Tart, he's not producing.
Hey, I appreciate you,
That's where
Mark.
you're at.
I appreciate you, Martinez. He says, "Hey, Akeem and Blair, love your pod. I appreciate you." We got another question here. How do you feel about Jimmy G? Do you think he should stay with the 49ers as a starter, a backup, or release him overall? Do you think he should be in the future with the 49ers teams? So I've been on record to say this. We need to move on from Jimmy G. I think that we can't keep Jimmy G around because we have too much talent. We have George Kittle, we got Juice, we got Brandon Ayuk, we have Debo Samuel. I will even go to the third. I like Richie James. Okay, so
Yeah.
obviously he could be developed. I go KB, he could be developed, right? We have
Hmm.
a farm of running backs. A farm.
Yeah.
When they're healthy,
Yeah.
the farm is Mostert is real deal Pro Bowl level, right? Then you got Coleman that comes in. He's Mr. Cool. He settles everything down, continues to grind out the yards, and then Wilson is just the power back with speed. So
Man.
it's just like we have the pieces that we're wasting on a quarterback that we're trying to up. Everybody else is playing up, but
Yeah.
they got hurt. Everybody else is playing up. Jimmy G is playing. We can't have that. I'm done with an average grade quarterback. We need a B or A quarterback. We're done. What do you think?
Yeah. To answer the question for me, what do I think of Jimmy Garoppolo? I think Jimmy Garoppolo is an average quarterback. That's what I think of him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do I think of him and how he's played for the 49ers? I think we were bamboozled. And I think we jumped the gun because we seen our team win no games. And then this guy comes and we win the remainder of our games for that season. Jimmy Garoppolo has not progressed. Okay. He has not figured out his weaknesses and he has not changed them. He continues to average about one interception a game. Like that's not even gunslinging. That's just terrible, terrible communication skills.
Decision making.
Obviously,
Yeah.
with obviously it might be because a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
say that receivers slip or they're running the wrong routes, and so I know there could be some communication there. Uh, but like Akeem said, your decision making skills as a quarterback, it's everything. And our guy,
It's
he just
disgusting.
hasn't he just hasn't made the decisions that we need to win. I think that the 49ers, I think they're actually going to keep him around. I think you draft a guy and you have Jimmy Garoppolo lose the position. You know, have him play out of the position, have that young gunslinger ready to go. Jimmy Garoppolo, you make a couple bad passes here or there, you slide wrong, whatever. This kid's going to come in and go ahead and take the wheels. That's what I think is going to happen with Jimmy Garoppolo. It's unfortunate. His ceiling was so high. I don't know why he decided when he was playing against Kansas City to run towards out of bounds, but not go out of bounds.
Mm.
You know, I don't know why he did that. Collides with a linebacker out of all the players on the field. You want to collide with a linebacker, and he blows out his ACL, and he has not been the same since. It's unfortunate, but this is the NFL.
Man, we got another question here. If you were general manager right now, what moves would you make? I go one move, you go one move. So one of the biggest moves that I would make right now was to move on from Jimmy G at the end of the season. I'm talking about as soon as the season is done and decided for, whenever we can release Jimmy G, that's what I would do. What about you?
First move that I'm going to make is because I wanted to release Jimmy G, but I that's just not. I don't think that's what you can do right now because you need him to play. The first move that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to solidify my offensive line. I'm gonna start making some phone calls to see is there a veteran that I can get, or do I need to start looking in the draft? I mean, from what I'm seeing, our quarterback keeps getting hit. I mean, when you look at the stat, it's between 30 and 32 where for quarterback hits. For me, I think you need to go back and look at solidifying your offensive line, whether that's a veteran or you're going to go in the draft.
Hmm.
We already know something's going to happen with the quarterback. That's just what it is. It's inevitable. But with that offensive line, you got some aging
Hmm.
players, you got some
We
players
need we
playing
need to
out of
sign Trent Williams
position.
though. We need to sign Trent Williams.
Yeah.
Probably the
How
best
and
left tackle in football.
how do they pull that off? That's interesting to me
What do you
because I
mean?
know he's going to want the bag. I
Oh,
know he's going to
we
be
can pull off.
expensive.
We can sign him if we let Jimmy go. If we keep Jimmy, we're not gonna be able to sign him. Sign him. That's another incentive to move
Hmm.
on from Jimmy. Just the money that we free up.
Wow. So if we keep Jimmy, there's no shot at resigning
There
at
is, but
Trent
then when
Williams.
you're gonna lose somebody like Juice, you're gonna lose a couple guys that you probably gonna need. And if we can get a quarterback and
Ah,
with backdated money, like a rookie, or let's just say we sign Matty Ice for a couple years, and we signed him for about 17 million a year, maybe even 20. Then we free up money to give
yeah.
Trent Williams and Juice. So I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But so we got another question. It says, "Hey, what's up, Akeem and Blair? I really enjoy your pod. Appreciate you, brother, Cass, and I'll always appreciate you guys, fam. Just just wanted to ask if we could release D Ford and try to trade for J.J. Watt. Imagine him and Nick Bosa on the edges. Yeah, that would be great. I just think we can't afford J.J.
Ooh.
Watt, and I think they will ask for too much for him. Um, D
Yeah.
Ford, we cannot release him. It'll be too much of a cap hit. But if he retires, which I believe he will, it would help us a lot. Nick Bosa
That's
is a
exactly
special
what's going to happen.
player. Nick Bosa is a special elite player. He was the guy who put us over the hump as an elite football team, and that's why I knew when he went down early in the year we was not going to the Super Bowl, because he was not playing. He's just an elite pass rusher. So now we got to go to the draft and find another elite pass rusher, I believe, who can suck up some space so he won't be getting double team Nick Bosa. What do you think?
Wow, that's pretty interesting. Just thinking about the whole Nick Bosa thing. So, do you think you need another? Do you need an edge, or do you need someone interior?
Now, I think we got two great interior guys. We need another guy on the edge. So what happens is that they always shift. Okay, so Nick Bosa's on one side. So what he
Mm-hmm.
does is what they do is that they make that guard responsible for Nick if he goes inside to help out. That center crash down on that guards man, and they'll keep crashing down, and they'll be one on the outside. So if you get another elite defensive end on the other side, then you can't
Mm-hmm.
double team Nick Bosa, right? You have
Yeah.
to play. You have to play a
Mhm.
certain style. You know what I mean? And
That
and
makes
that's and
sense.
that's what it is.
Well, I think D Ford he has to retire. I mean, he's injured. He's banged up to the highest degree. We're talking neck and back. My neck and my back.
Hmm.
There's no way that he is able to come back and I think play at the level he wants to.
Hmm.
Um, and if you're John Lynch, he ex player knows how to communicate with players. You talk to him, you tell him about the hit. It's obvious you want to make your money, but if you can't go, you can't go. And yeah, you have to draft on the outside. I just don't see no one that is a veteran that is going to be willing to take a pay cut to come play for the
Hmm.
49ers. That would be phenomenal to have JJ Watt, but highly unlikely. It would be phenomenal to have Joey Bosa, highly unlikely. Yeah, if you could go out there and get someone maybe in those mid rounds and just produce someone that can just produce. Right now, we have no production. It's zero coming from D Ford. Just minimal production will put this team in a better position than we're in today.
I agree, man. About to get up out of here, man. I think it was a great show. Um, I want to, like I said, I want to thank everybody that tuned into our show. We're definitely in the game, man. We're huge 49er fans. Check us out on Twitter. Also subscribe and share our show, please. That would be great. Also hit the little notification button to let you know when we do come live. We mostly what we do is Mondays and Wednesdays. We may expand on that, doing a couple more shows here and there, but we really just try to come in from a fan's point of view, come in and talk about the game. We do study the team, and I think that's one of our biggest strengths. We do study the team, and we have some strong opinions about it, even if it's not agreeing with everybody else. But we really appreciate you guys coming out. Blair, we got anything?
Man, I just want to tell everyone thank you for reading the 49ers Weekly. We'll have that coming to you this week. We got a lot of great feedback on that. If there's ever anything that you would like for us to cover, if there's any opinion that you have that you would like for us to debate with you, drop it in, comment, subscribe, hit us up on Twitter, the 49ers Empire Podcast. We appreciate you. Go Red Gold.
All right, we out of here. Go Niners.
You know what's going down.